You guys, it is the Survivor finale tonight. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you, but that finale was freaking crazy. Stay tuned and we're gonna talk about it right here.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God, you guys! It is the finale on AFTERBUZZ TV for Survivor Season 35, Healers, Hustlers, and I can't even say the freaking name because it's crazy. Oh my God, if you are not stunned by that ending, by the whole episode tonight, I don't even know who you are, what you're thinking, because that was nuts. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, let us know how we're doing on our YouTube channel. Everybody in the live chat, thanks so much for joining all season and especially today. I'm your host, Paige Bonanno. You guys can find me on all social media at Paige Bonanno.
You guys, I am absolutely mind blown. I am blown away by this season finale. I am Timothy Michael. You can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike. I'm excited to talk about it.
I'm obviously excited. What's up, guys? It's Mike Rippe. You can catch me on social media at Mike Rips, and Ben won.
Oh my God, you guys, Ben won!
Oh, Ben won.
Ben won. Okay, and I just want to let you guys know in the live chat, I tweeted about it, but I'm not sure if everybody knows, I was just at the live finale. So I just came from there, so I have some really cool insight on like everything that happened. I've never been to a live finale before.
We're really excited to pick your brain on it.
Oh my God, it was insane. Like the crowd was just crazy. Everybody, I mean, Ben was the one that people wanted to win the most. Obviously it was like Ben, Chrissy, Ryan.
Right.
I mean, just first of all, what do you guys think about Ben winning? I know, Mike, you're happier about it.
Well, I want Mike to take it first, because
I think I told you last week that Ben was going to win. I told you for a while. No, honestly, tonight's episode was one of the best episodes I've ever seen in Survivor history, and for the season to culminate with, forgetting who won, but just the way it went down in tonight's season finale was epic. It was so good, it made up for so many weeks that I thought this season wasn't good, and there were so many twists, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, even though Ryan was on my fantasy draft, he did drop the ball toward the last half of the game, and I really wanted Chrissy to win. I was a Ben fan. He won all those idols, but Chrissy really just winning all those immunity challenges for me just put me over the top. And her last line, when she said moms are not only heroes, but they're healers and hustlers, I was like, what else can encompass this theme? And not only that, this theme did start off, and we talked about it in the beginning of the season, how poor of a theme we thought this season was going to be, and they totally blew our minds.
I feel like the last 4 weeks have been very, very strong in episodes. It was very slow at the beginning, you know, it just took forever to kind of like get launched. But the last couple weeks, it's been so incredible. And I mean, like you said, tonight I think was one of the best episodes. I mean, it was 2 episodes, but one of the best I've ever seen, I think. We were on the edge of our seats the entire time.
And you're talking for a whole crowd of people, too, as being there live.
Oh my gosh.
So
people were, I mean, okay, for example, we'll get into it, but when Ben was almost winning immunity, for his final immunity, which he desperately needed, and he just put the U upside down in the word, and he almost had it, like, I've never seen a crowd go that wild. People were jumping out of their seats, jumping up and down, like running around the studio, like, oh my God. And I was like, what? Like,
I mean, me and Mike were pretty much doing the same thing in this studio.
Gosh.
So
it was insane. So much fun. And okay, we're trying to get the live chat up, but if you guys have any questions about it, about the live finale, please let me know. I'll talk about it a little bit throughout, but I think we should just dive it right into the episode.
Please.
I mean, where do we even start? So we come back and we have 5 left. Mike is still there, and Devin is still there, Chrissy, Ryan, and Ben. And, you know, just from the start, we go right into immunity pretty much.
Well, not even go right into immunity, because Ben finds an immunity idol after they slept.
How can I forget?
After they slept on it, and Ben was like, no, I'm not messing around, like, and went to go find, literally stayed up all night to find this immunity idol, which I gave him props for.
Oh my God.
I literally said, if he finds an idol, this is before he actually found it, I said, if he finds it, he has my vote. And then clearly other things happened throughout the night, and I was like, okay, I have to go to Chrissy. But Ben certainly deserves respect for his gameplay.
Ben found 3 idols and played 3 idols in a row. I mean, like you said, he stayed up all night. He said it was multiple nights, he said. He said, I was up every night looking for the idol because I knew that I needed it, you know? And we saw him very late in the night looking for it, and then by the time he found it, it was dawn. It was morning.
Yeah.
They were about to wake up. So the fact that he went and searched that hard, it really shows to me how strong of a player he is, how much he really wants this, and how he's never going to quit. He knew that he was on the chopping block. He knew that he needed that. Every time he needed to find an idol, he found it.
Yeah, I have to ask you guys this, and if Steven, our wonderful engineer, can get our live chat up just so we can see some of the questions and some of the responses. But do we think it's fair that there's an idol so far near the end in the game? Do we think that, you know, like, how do we feel about that? Do we think, because with, like, you know, Project Runway, I'm just going to shout Project Runway out really quick, and they also do a show over at AfterBuzz. But toward the end, they kind of stop in immunity challenges. They stop, like, you can get immunity. I think at 5, you shouldn't be able to win an immunity challenge after that, or an immunity idol at least.
What do you think, Mike?
No, I think that the way they do the idols are good up to the last 4. I mean, there's got to be twists and turns, otherwise it's going to get stale.
I mean,
you don't know how each season is going to go with the competitors and how it turns out, but I think you know there's turns, and if you get towards the end and there's no more twists and turns when there's still 5 people left, it's too many. So I think that they have it right. I honestly wouldn't even be disappointed if they had one when there's 4 people left, if you could find it, because it's not that you're just getting it, you have to find it.
See, I don't think I would like it if there were only 4 left, because then somebody wins individual and one person finds immunity. I wouldn't like that, but I think that playing it up until there's 5, I think that that's definitely good and like doable in my eyes, especially when Ben found the idol. I mean, everybody has been wanting, you know, he's found 2 idols up until now. This was his 3rd, but I mean, the studio tonight, when Ben found that idol, like the reaction from the crowd, like the fact that Survivor is keeping people having this reaction for so long, I've never seen people react like that.
Of course, and we obviously have given props to the writers and the producers of Survivor over and over and over again, because this is literally on their 35 season, going into 36, and they still, like you said, have fans reacting in these crazy ways. So, you know, props to them. I just feel like after 5, I feel like if you stopped the immunity, the hidden immunity idols, I feel like that just forces people to up their gameplay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think the one thing that we noticed right from the starting tonight, that the overarching theme, and I've been, I think, talking about this, is that it feels like tonight's episode, obviously the ending of the season, but you saw that Ben really was in tune with how the game was going, not just finding the idols, but the way that, you know, Chrissy came to him to rekindle their friendship at the start of tonight's episode to try to cover her ass, and Ben didn't really buy into it, but he also played it like, hey, yeah, maybe. You could see he was playing in every element, not just trying to win the actual immunity, but finding the idol, but also doing everything. And you saw that from Ben for weeks now. That led up to his victory.
He's very smart. He calculates his moves that he makes. You know, he never like really leaves anything off the table.
But so is Chrissy. Chrissy never left anything off the table
Absolutely.
either.
When Ben came up to her at the end and said, "Is there any way that I can stick around tonight?" and she said, "You know, I'm not going to tell him no. I'm going to say, going into tonight's vote, I'll think about it and I'll hear you out."
Yes.
So she doesn't leave it off the table either. But Chrissy also, like, her relationships are, I mean, we can get into the end, but like her relationships are very different than Ben's. Like, she actually genuinely talks to people and gets to know them, whereas Ben, it seems like from what they had said at the reunion that he doesn't do that as much.
I also think that Chrissy did a lot of that from a power of position, like the position of power.
Yeah.
When she was in the position of power, she was talking to everyone in very one way. When she wasn't in the power position, she was a different way.
Because she was like, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to respond to you. So tonight I'm going to do this. You know,
Ben was always kind of the underdog, or seeing something happen even in his own alliance. He came up on them talking to try to eliminate him, and he was able to then eliminate Lauren, and he continued from different people against him. He figured a way to maneuver through it the whole time. I think at the end of the day, Chrissy played a tremendous game. Obviously, one of the best female players we've ever seen. Would have been a deserved winner. She just came into the season where she played against a guy that was just a little bit better, I think, in the long run.
I honestly just feel, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but I feel like Ben only won because of his military status. I feel like Ben only won because he has this, and anybody in the military, they command respect. They are, I want to say the word alpha males, because they, whatever room they get into, whatever social circle they run into, they expect to be the top dog, which is how they're trained.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Respect to them.
I disagree.
But at the same time, I feel like what Chrissy's last argument versus Ben's was better. That was just
okay,
my
but
opinion.
Ben, okay, but Ben would not have been around to make it to the end to win this game if he hadn't gotten 3 immunity idols.
Furthermore, the point I want to touch on that you just said, being an alpha male, I think that's wrong because he was not the alpha male as far as the group was concerned. He was the lone male that was looking for idols that wasn't in the position of alpha male. He obviously spoke out at times and tried to be as part of a team, but he was absolutely not like an alpha male in this game.
He might have been in the middle of the season when he was nommed King Ben,
Right.
but
Sure.
up until this point, he was
the
an underdog.
low man
He
on the
was,
totem
yes.
pole.
I disagree. I feel like the reason why he was on the bottom was because he was so cocky, because he was such an alpha male, and because he was playing this whole like, I'm
also disagree that he
bigger
was
than
cocky.
everybody else. So
Because-
that's why he's on the bottom, because people got tired of it.
But if he was so cocky, he wouldn't have been waking up in the middle of the night to find an idol. He wouldn't have been doing his darnest to try to cover himself the entire time. Even when he wasn't winning that things, he was always trying to play.
I'm not saying he wasn't smart. I'm just saying that I feel like there were some pity votes just because he was in the military.
Well, I think there's something that we can all agree on is that, okay, whether it was his veteran status, whether it was him going out and finding idols, I don't think that Ben would have won had there not been the twist at the end.
Oh, of course
Ben
not.
would not have won if there
No.
wasn't the twist at the end. So
Of
he
course.
did get lucky in that sense.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean,
However-
he still made fire, but
I think we all know this, that no matter what, you have to get lucky in this game, right? We can look at all the competitors and say they got lucky at this point. Like, of course, Ben doesn't win if he doesn't get lucky at the end,
Right.
and there's a new twist to the game.
Right.
But Chrissy could have been thrown out at the start of the game and she got lucky. Or if Ben's last U isn't upside down, then she's out and who knows what. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As far as luck. So agreed. Obviously, any of them could have won, and Chrissy could have won, and it's fair. I mean, we're picking between oranges and apples. It's
course,
so close.
of course.
The one thing is that, I mean, both of them deserve to win, really. Ben and
Yes,
Chrissy.
agreed,
They were both
100%.
tremendous. I think that Chrissy made a fatal flaw, and I wonder what you guys were watching. I know it's not in hindsight, because I said this in the moment when I was watching, but I think that Chrissy could have taken Ben as opposed to taking Ryan. Instead of leaving Ben to fight it out in a fire match, where I think if she thinks about it, she's smart enough to know he's probably going to win. And then he's going to come in with that underdog status. I just won the fire making and I just beat Devin. And now he's got an extra push because he looked like the underdog at the end when they were explaining to the jury, like, hey, Chrissy, what happened with your secret advantage? What was it? And another thing, the secret advantage, we talked about this all season. It wasn't such an advantage. It was a disadvantage at times. And
yeah.
tonight, it was the biggest disadvantage in Chrissy's game.
Yeah.
I mean, let us know what you guys think about that, because that's a bold statement. You know, I mean, I feel like people could maybe see it either way. I feel like a lot of people might disagree with you. I, for one, disagree with you. I mean, I think your logic makes sense, but I, as Chrissy, like you said earlier, I feel like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I think if she took him to the end and then she won, it's like, or he won, it's like, what were you even thinking taking him to the end? At least if she didn't take him to the end, then she had the chance that Devin would win against her. She had at least a chance.
Right. A 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
then question, since you guys disagree with me on this, curious, what should she have done to win? Because she lost, right?
Yeah.
So what
There's nothing she could have done at that
You don't
point.
think there's anything she could have done in tonight's
I
episode
think she
to win the
gave
game?
the best ending statement that she could have possibly made. I think that regardless of if she took Ben to the end, she would have lost. If she didn't take Ben to the end, she would have lost.
Here's the thing, and I just want to...
Unless Devin won the fire making challenge, then she would have won.
Here's the thing, and I just want to say I have the utmost respect for everybody who serves in our military. There's no disrespect to them. This is just my opinion. I feel like because Chrissy is a woman, she had to work 10 times harder than Ben did. Literally, she played an amazing game. Everybody knew it. Everybody said it. She said it. She's won 4 out of the 128 contestants in Survivor. She's one of 4 females who won, 4 individual immunity challenges. I mean, she has done crazy things in this game, all the while not hurting people in a crazy way, and yet she still couldn't win. So the answer to your question, Mike, is that she literally could not have done anything better to change her game. I feel like it's because Ben had this
That's a good
sympathy
point.
vote of being in the
I
military.
disagree, because I think the way that you're saying that Ben had the sympathy vote for the military, you could also say that she had the sympathy vote for being a female, and the 4 females on the jury could have voted for her. I'm not saying either are true, because I think it is a sympathetic story that he came back with PTSD.
There was only 3 on the jury. There was Desi, Lauren, and Ashley.
Okay, so those 3. But I mean, you could say the same thing as far as females and her being a female and supporting the way she pitched herself to all the females and like, I'm your winner as a group and how proud of us we should all be. So, I mean, look.
This is a really tough question.
Look, I think at the end of the day, what we're coming into, and I think it's obvious that this is the first time I can remember where there really were 2 amazing
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
finalists.
Yeah.
And I think for all of us, I think we can agree at least that those two were the best players for sure.
Yes.
And by a large margin.
Yes.
And it was an amazing ending, regardless if Chrissy had won or Ben won. Like, the way it just went back and forth.
Well, a lot of times we don't see, like the last couple of seasons at least, we haven't really seen a split on the final vote. Normally it's been 100% for Jeremy, 100% for Michelle, 100% for whoever won last year, Sarah. Like, it's not, it's very rare that we've been seeing this split lately. So it's clear that it was very divided. I think that, as you said, Ben and Chrissy are two of the best players that we've seen. Maybe of all time, maybe not. But I think that Chrissy played an incredible game, but I do...
She did.
See, the thing is I was like Team Ben from the start, right? I was not as much of a fan of Chrissy. I thought that she was a great player, but I thought she got on my nerves a little bit, you know, with her cocky attitude and whatnot. I think she's probably a great person. We get along in person, but, you know, she just annoyed me on the game a little bit. But even so, having been a Ben fan this entire time, going through this episode tonight, I was like, oh, maybe I would vote for Chrissy. Oh, no, I got to stick with what I was going to do with Ben. No, you know what? I might vote for Chrissy. I mean, she killed it at the end. He killed it at the end. But, sorry, I don't know if you guys have something to say. I just keep rambling. But
No, keep going.
I mean, there's just so much. But I think that in the end, she really fought to the death. Whereas Ben, Joe had to really probe him to continue to say, hey, you're not even telling me really why you're such a good player. You've been one of the best players, so let me get this out of you. I don't think you can stop there. So would Ben have really made as compelling of an argument had Joe not probed him?
Probably not, and that's the funny thing. I'm on the same page as you, Paige. No pun intended. And Mike can vouch for me. During the episode, I was like, oh my gosh, if Ben finds this idol, I would vote for Ben. Like, I was like, Ben's a very smart. This is insane. Like, he's doing such a good job at playing this game. I was on Ben's team, and then Chrissy just came out with these individual immunity challenges, and I have to ask you guys this, just another question on top of all the other questions we've asked. Do we think it's more deserving of a player to win based on winning individual immunities or finding hidden immunities?
I think it's a really hard tie there.
I think we've learned from past seasons that it doesn't necessarily mean anything if you win one or the other. It depends. Your season, they're all unique. Because a couple years ago, I picked Ken and Adam, right? Ken was killing everything. But he had no social game, but he won everything. He was physically dominant. And he got shut out. And Adam won with his sob story. And then the other year when I think it was
Who was
Melissa,
physically dominant against Adam?
Ken.
Ken.
And then there was the Melissa when she won. Like, the thing about Survivor is that there's no rhyme or reason. One season this way might work, and another season a totally another one will work.
Well, yeah.
And I think we're just up here like almost in a state of shock, confusion, happiness, upset, all of the emotions, because it was so close tonight's ending that it could have gone so many different ways with. You just did a little thing, and you got to remember, at the end of the day, the way we're feeling, can you imagine what the jury was feeling?
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
But the thing is, too, is like, I feel like, okay, maybe the veteran status, I'm sure, had something to do with a sympathy vote towards the end. But when you look at it, as you're saying, individual immunities or finding immunities. So Ben found 3 idols. Chrissy won 4 immunities. So take it from the standpoint that they're the same, okay? Just take it from the standpoint that they're the same. She won 3, he found 3, whatever. But the fact that, I think it's the fact that he was the underdog for so many votes, that his name was written down so many times. He should have gone home 3 different times. Chrissy's name, I don't think was ever written down until this last time. I think it's an underdog story. Less than the veteran story.
Well, and I think that's where Chrissy made a fatal flaw by helping to elevate Ben's status. The other part of this that we should just incorporate into the conversation about whether it's you win more immunities, you find the idols, whatnot, is it wasn't like Ben was Ryan in the competitions where he wasn't a competitor. Ben was right there.
Yes.
Many times. So it's not like Chrissy won these 4 and Ben was like, he didn't win any, but he wasn't really competitive.
Right.
Like, Ben was one of those people that he was competitive throughout.
Yes.
And that was the difference. If Ben was like Ryan, where he never had a shot the whole time and then he won just because he had found idols, it's like, okay, what the hell?
Like, if Ryan would have won that immunity idol at the end, I would have been
but
like,
I mean,
oh my
like,
God.
honestly, it's split. Right. But it's splitting hair. Isn't it splitting hairs when you look at, like, yes, Chrissy won 4. That last one she won, I mean, Ben was about to win it. He doesn't get the right way. Point given, Chrissy won that. She deserved to win those idols. The challenges, she was amazing. But it wasn't like Ben at the same time wasn't right there. You know what I mean? And I think that sticks in their minds too, because they're seeing it. It's like, you're not like, oh, Ben was, he had no shot. You're like, oh my God, Ben is about to win. Ben is about to, oh my God.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
But who were you guys rooting for when we had the immunity challenge at the end? Ben was so close. Were you rooting for Ben or were you rooting for Chrissy? You were.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's an underdog story. I'm rooting for Ben. He's gonna get out tonight for
Right,
sure.
exactly,
I'm voting for him.
exactly.
I want him to win that individual immunity.
And that feeling that you just described, I think, is what happened when then Ben finds out at the immunity challenge or at the tribal that all of a sudden he has
shot.
life.
He has a shot.
He's been placed, and then Chrissy says, "Oh yeah." Jeff tells her, "Hey, tell the people what happened." She's like, "Well, I told some people. I told Devin." Ben's like, "Oh my God, I get a chance." And now you're like, "Wow, he really is the underdog. He didn't even have an idea." Then he goes, and of course, it's a fire thing. He's a Marine, the military thing. You know he's got a better shot just by.
But Devin has a good shot to win that
He
too.
does. He does.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just saying.
Yeah. If
I'm
I
putting
were,
my money on the guy that's gone to war. Just
if
saying.
I were Chrissy, I would have made the same decision that she made. Is what I'm saying.
And that's fair.
I mean, Mike swayed me on this when we were watching the episode. I felt like Chrissy did make a detrimental mistake in saying to the jury or admitting to the jury that she did give Devin prior notice to what this secret advantage was, because it's like, once again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If she takes Ryan, and this is another thing, her taking Ryan to the final 3 hurt Ryan's game even more than anything, because then you just look at Ryan being like, well, you literally just got dragged to the end, which
he's
I'm
like,
glad.
he said, nobody took me to the end. I'm like, oh, bitch, you could have taken it to the end.
Right, which I'm glad Desi brought up as soon as we got there. But I'm like, if she took Ben, then it looks like, okay, well, she wants the best players at the end. But if she didn't take Ben, it shows that she's smart, because why would you go up against a stronger player? It's hard
to say if anything's different. I was just throwing out the idea that maybe if she says, I want to beat the best, you were deserving, you played great, I played great, let's see. Who knows if it changes?
Well,
it might not.
She said that to Ben at the end.
did.
How about we take the best players to the end?
But she also said after that, like, eh.
Yeah,
but that's something. So who knows? My one question that I want to move away from Chrissy and Ben for a second is, what was Ryan's game?
You know what? I have to give Ryan props, because like he said, and like I've been, like, you know, he was on my fantasy draft, so I was sticking up for him throughout this entire season. He said it. He said at the beginning of this season, he played a more social game. He developed these relationships, which, in fairness, did carry him to the end. Literally, the people that he formed the most strongest alliances with were Chrissy and Devin.
It's true.
And he literally got to the final 4 with Chrissy and Devin. So, I mean, you can't really, like, front on Ryan
it's
here,
a good
because...
point, but Ryan, tonight, his one thing that he was able to say was, on day 1, I had an advantage. On day frickin' 1, Ryan, what did you do throughout the rest of the season?
Nothing.
What did you do throughout the rest of the season?
And
that's what's important.
We've talked about this, I think, past weeks. He was fading the entire time, whereas you're supposed to be doing the other way.
Yeah.
He was
you're
coasting.
You're supposed to coast at the start and start making moves towards the end. When we saw all the other players, Devin was making moves towards the end where he saved himself. I mean, Ryan Ryan essentially just did nothing. And he wasn't competitive. He never had a chance.
And that's the thing.
He just got. It was like getting to the last 3 was an accomplishment to him, and that was all he needed. But he did get 1 vote, which you predicted he would get.
I was very surprised.
I was too. I was
very
surprised.
I knew he would at least get 1 vote, because he, like I said, he did play a very good social game in the beginning. I felt like I do agree with you guys. I felt like he did. You know, his fire did burn a little out toward the end, and like you guys said, it should be the opposite. You should burn bright.
Yeah.
I mean, you should burn little and then burn brighter. But then at the same time, this game was so unpredictable, like each season of Survivor is. I feel like he just didn't want to put his neck out there in order to, like, because once you put a target on your back, that's how you get voted out. And I feel like he was scared to do it. And I guess that was his downfall.
Question: do you guys mind? I have a couple of points that I just wanted to talk about and see your thoughts. First off, and you guys, please join us in the live chat or when you're watching. Tell us what you think.
Oh, they're on fire in the live chat.
Steven, if you can we just make the live chat a little bit bigger? I can't really read it.
Do you think, and this is a question that, Paige, you'll probably have a better answer for, but we saw in tonight's challenge that Chrissy was struggling to keep her 2-piece bathing suit on, her bikini on in the water.
Yes.
Should the females wear a 1-piece so that you don't get distracted during the competition to cover yourself up?
I mean, we've seen, I don't know who it was, Michaela maybe, who was just running naked because she's like, fuck this, it's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, I might wear 1 piece just so it's not even an issue in my head.
In the challenge at the start, you saw Chrissy multiple times having to fix herself, and that obviously, whether it's 1% distraction or more, it seemed like it was a little distracting. I'm not saying it affects things overall.
It clearly doesn't, because she won.
But maybe you should wear a 1-piece.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a Survivor woman wear a 1-piece. I mean, maybe, but like,
I just wonder about
most of the time they don't wear 1-pieces.
Look, I'm all about, if you got it, flaunt it. So if you want to wear a 2-piece, then wear a 2-piece. I feel like what Michaela did in that season was she just, like, ripped her top off.
She's like, they're going to blur this shit out anyway.
Yeah, so why not? And clearly, if you're on an island with these people for 39 days, they're going to see you naked.
Right.
So they probably have seen you naked, whether during the challenge or not.
But this isn't about about seeing you naked. I'm specifically talking from
As a distraction
Would I
from the
wear
challenge,
this
like-
or not?
The way that sometimes I talk about, do you want shoes in the water or not?
Yeah.
The same way.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
No, it's a good
I was
question.
curious.
I feel like I
Yeah.
would just wear a two-piece, but then I'd be like, nah, I should have brought a one-piece.
If I was a girl and I had a body, I would wear a two-piece.
Yeah.
Because it almost to me seems like in the challenge at least, the men have a little bit of advantage because I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
their top.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
If I was a girl and I didn't have a body, I would wear a two-piece.
Right? I do want to bring up something about the fact that Ben used his immunity idol, and then he voted for Devin, and Devin went with his gut and voted for Dr. Mike. I mean, there was a minute where we weren't sure what he was going to do. I'm so freaking proud of Devin.
Yeah.
He took a big risk there
Yes.
because he knew he could very well go back to camp and just be reamed for that decision.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it would have been going against his entire lines, which he did, but he's like, I had to go with my gut. I had a feeling that Ben was up to something,
Yeah.
which is crazy because they played this fake immunity idol to Ben's face, and Ben already had the idol.
And Ben had already talked about how he knew that was fake, and he
Yeah.
played along with it. That was impressive.
But-
Remember, he kept saying like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're too fur." And
But
then,
that was kind of, it seemed like Devin's indicator that something was up because he's like, Ben's being way too cool about this and not really.
which showed
throwing
you
it all.
that Devin was still playing the game and he
Yes.
was locked in too.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So
Devin is first of all, just Devin is so good. I like Devin grew so much as a player throughout this season. I
Agreed.
love him, and also like you said, he was still playing at that point. He made a very big risk at the end, and also when he had to go to fire, he was very calm, cool, and collected about it. But Ben was up to the freaking rope. It was burning through the rope, and Devin is still sitting there.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
trying to get the flint started.
Never
He
gave up.
never gave up.
Yes.
He
I
never
feel like
gave up.
that was a theme throughout the entire with all of our players. Nobody ever gave up. When Christy was on the bottom, she never gave up. When Ben was on the bottom,
Yes.
he never gave up. When Devin's on the nobody ever gave up, and I love that
Yeah.
about the players this season because nobody was like, you know what, I just can't do it anymore.
Devin could have been like, "Oh,
No.
you're already burning through the fire."
No.
He was
Which-
sitting there.
And that showed a lot about Devin's character and his gameplay, which was super impressive as well. He was deserving to make it to as far as he
Yeah.
did, and he would have been a deserving final three contestant had he beaten Ben.
Do you think that he would have gotten votes had he been in the three?
I think he might have gotten
Maybe
one or
Ri-
two.
I think
Would
yes.
Ryan have voted for Christy or Devin?
Christy?
Probably Chrissy
Yeah.
because she
I think
ended
he
up
would have voted
taking
for
Ryan,
Chrissy.
unless that Ryan would have been. Yeah,
I think he
I
voted
think
for
so too.
Chrissy.
But
Yeah.
speaking of fire and how hot this chat is, maybe we should take a pause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we do
no,
have
I
something-
mean, so the whole thing about this season was it's very cutthroat. And another show that is really cutthroat that I have to tell you guys about is Vikings on History. So it already premiered on November 29th at 9 p.m. with a 2-hour season premiere. That's Wednesday, November 29th. It already premiered, you guys. They're on their season 5, and season 5 began with Ivar the Boneless asserting his leadership over the great heathen army, while Lagertha reigns as queen of Kattegat. Ivan's murder of his brother Sigurd sets the stage for vicious battles to come as Ragnar's sons plot their next moves after avenging their father's death. It sounds like a Survivor episode, but it's
about-
Oh my
not.
God.
Talk
It's
about a
it
tongue
does.
twister.
It's Vikings. I know these names are insane. Jonathan Rhys Meyers joins the cast as Bishop Heman this season. Season 5 is only 10 episodes, you guys. So if you want to binge watch it, like I said, it's already premiered Wednesday, November 29th at 9 p.m. on History. So if you want to go and binge watch it from now, I think they're like on what, episode 4 or something like that? Episode 3 probably. Then you can definitely go and do that. The whole entire question about this season of Vikings is who will rise, whether it be Ivar or Lagertha or Bjorn. There's all these characters that, the main question is who will rise. So that is on History's Vikings, which premiered on November 29th at 9. You could watch it every Wednesday on History at 9 p.m., guys.
Sweet. That sounds
Wow,
great.
I just want to take a second. That was really good.
Very
Thank you.
nice job.
Wow.
Thank you. And it's a really great show. If you watch Game of Thrones, if
Yeah.
you watch any kind of like bloody or like gory kind of stuff, you will love
Yeah.
Vikings. So
That's awesome.
Check it out, guys.
Honestly, you guys, though, I just really, really love Devin, and I wish we could have seen a little more from him right at the end. I feel like he would have made a way more compelling story than Ryan, but there was just really no way for him to get there.
I agree, and I wanna pose this question to you guys. Do you think that Chrissy should have taken Devin and left Ryan and Ben? Obviously, Ryan would have lost.
She would have never left Ryan to fend for himself against Ben. I feel like she's way more loyal to Ryan than she's to Devin.
No, I agree. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
She could. What if she would have been like? Yeah, I guess she could have been like, I'm gonna have the 3 best players in the end: Devin, me, and Ben.
Yeah, I mean,
Because she thinks that Devin's a better player than Ryan, right?
I think think?
Obviously, because she chose Devin to battle Ben in the fire making. She clearly said, I think Devin has a better chance than Ryan. Like,
Yeah.
she
Well,
clearly
Ryan
knew
said too,
that.
he's like, there's absolutely no way I would win a fire making contest.
Ryan couldn't win anything. The best thing that Ryan did in tonight's episode was when he said during during Tribal, when he said Ben completely killed the game, and then when Ben takes out his Ben bomb, and Ryan just goes, this guy's insane.
Literally.
Because he's like, this never stops. He just couldn't believe it. That was like the best
They
thing
said
that
he's
Ryan
like
did.
a mummy or something you can't kill.
Which is like a horror movie. Yeah, I feel like they were like building up Ben's gameplay before they knew that he had the idol, because they were like, well, Ben keeps playing idols and he's just a great like person. We have to get him out. Like, this is talking at Tribal in front of the jury. Like, we have to get him out. He's like a ferocious player, blah, blah, blah. It's his time. And then he just comes back with another one. And then it's like, wow, just when you thought he was at the top, he gets even bigger.
Well, think about like how many times throughout this season that we almost got Ben out before the whole thing of idols, before he got any idols. So many people wanted him out from like episode 3, 4. And they every time that somebody else was voted out than Ben, they were like, you guys are so dumb for not getting Ben out.
Yes.
And here we are. Yep. Ben won.
This is not the first time that this has happened, you guys. It has happened several more times on the seasons of Survivor.
I will say,
and we knew it was going to happen. Once they didn't get him out, and then the next time there was a missed opportunity again, we were like, that's it. He's not going to
When he didn't win immunity, though, I was like, he's done.
And I will say, though, I like that when you have a person that ends up winning when there were so many times they should have got him out, and there were so many things that they had to go through to get that victory. Like, there were probably times during the season when you looked at it and you're like, Ben probably has like an under 2% chance of winning this whole thing, because you're like, he needs so much.
They'd be so dumb if
There's
they
like
didn't.
you can't even see the path for him to get to victory, and then for him to get through everything he did. Like multiple different alliances and everything to get to the victory, is just like so sweet.
And
to see someone do that, whoever it is, you know, it was just, it's at least we can say like someone was a deserved winner.
Yes.
There was more than one deserved winner, of course.
Right.
But like, this was, you just hate, I think, at least I hate, and what do you guys think? I hate when someone ends up winning and you're like, what? They don't deserve to
I
win.
think out of the past 5 seasons, if Chrissy would have stood against any of those other people, any of those other winners, she would have won 100%.
She would have won, except for Sarah. I did agree should have won last season.
I think Chrissy would have won over Sarah.
No, she would have won over Sarah, but I did like Sarah.
She was a
and I
deserved
liked how
winner.
she played her game. A lot more cutthroat than Chrissy.
Yeah.
But that's what I liked about Chrissy's game this season, is that she played a more a game with integrity. She did play a cleaner game than most other people. That
she told a lot of people what she wanted to hear, but it wasn't like she was doing anything ruthless.
She wasn't as kind of like, for her position and how much she was winning, she was pretty straightforward most of the time. You have to give her. She was great. I mean, this is the thing. I was with Ben for a while, but I mean, I respect Chrissy and her game. She's a tremendous player. I think we'll definitely see her in the future.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
Because she deserves to be in another season and have another chance.
Yeah.
And she was tremendous. It just happens. Sometimes you get in the season where you're like, this is an all-timer against who you're playing.
Right.
And then sometimes you have a season where there's like nobody. And this season just ended up being where we had a lot of people that weren't that great, but we had some all-timers in the end. You know what I mean?
I think it would have been a mistake regardless of how good Chrissy played if Ben got to the end and they didn't vote for him. I think it would have been a mistake if he wasn't the winner, if they didn't vote for him.
Why do you say that?
Because I just think he was everything we've talked about. I think that he was the best. I think if they would have gotten to the end and not voted for Ben, that it just would have been a mistake on everybody's part.
I still disagree with you guys.
I feel like we were fishing and I got hooked Paige.
You
guys agree,
If
right?
anybody knows in the chat, they know that I will put up an argument. So I feel like I would still go for Chrissy. I still think that Chrissy deserved to win, especially after the jury grilled them at the end. I still feel like she had all the perfect answers.
Yes.
I feel like none of her answers were too rehearsed. I felt like all of them were natural. I feel like she portrayed a very heartfelt, speech toward the jury about why she should win, and that's really what won me over.
One of the things I wanted to add to what you said about her having the perfect speech and stuff, and I think that it makes Survivor amazing, and what makes our panel great, and what makes our fans great, and everyone watching, is that the fact that you think she made a perfect speech and it was really good, someone else might say it wasn't perfect and it was imperfect, and someone will say, well, Ben was perfect, and some people say, you know what, Ryan was perfect, and Devin, and that's
you guys, there was a guy next to me at the taping tonight that was like, Ryan 100%. He's
Exactly.
like, Ryan's getting it. I'm like, Dude, what
I
world
know,
are you
I
living in?
know,
But he
I
was
know.
so gung ho about Ryan. Like, he was kidding. Like, I mean, you know, he knew, but like, he loved Ryan.
Yeah.
And one last second, I want to just give a shout out to Ava, the girl that picked.
Yes,
That
she
Jeff
did
asked
pick
to
Ben.
pick who would win, and she picked Ben. She was right. That was
I do want to say something about Chrissy. I don't know. I can't remember if this was in the show or in the reunion, which I'm assuming it was reunion. So I don't know if you guys saw it. But Chrissy, you know, obviously she's auditioned for this for 16 years. This was her dream, but she lost her job going for this.
Wow.
So she said, "I want to take a leave of absence," and they said no. So she lost her job going to pursue this.
Good for
tell you-
her. You know what? Somebody's
Good
gonna
for
pick
This is
her
her
up in
dream.
a second.
She's almost. That's what I said. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, she's gonna get like 5 job offers.
She's
like,
gonna get a
after
better
tonight.
job offer
Of
from
course.
this.
Right?
Yeah.
So even though she might not have won Survivor tonight, she definitely is winning.
And she still
in
got
life.
$100,000 or whatever second place
Right,
gets.
right.
Like,
And I feel like anybody who plays Survivor and even gets to the final 5, there are many opportunities. There are many doors that
Yes.
open for these players. I will say this, just piggybacking on what Mike said, I do love our panel. I love Survivor in general. I love our fans. And I love the fact that we can disagree on something, but yet still come and
Yeah.
just show respect to one another as our opinions. Like, yes, I might not agree that Ben won, but I do have respect for you that you think he won. And I do have respect for Ben as a player because he was very smart. And yes, he was a ferocious, as Mike said, player this season.
oh my God, sorry, real quick. Sheena123 in the live chat said, Paige, if you were single, you would date either Devin, Joe Anglem, or Ken. I'm like, that's so freaking right. Like, I've literally like talked about the 3 of them so much over the past couple seasons. That's so funny, Sheena, that you remember that. And so just wanted to point that out.
Shout out to our co-host that is missing tonight,
Oh, yeah.
Dominique. She is not here tonight, obviously,
she's not?
unless she's invisible. Right? Oh.
She is home for the holidays already.
She's home for the holidays, you guys. Christmas is like 5 days away, so she is
Oh my
home for the
God.
holidays. We do miss you, Dominique. We love you, and obviously you guys in the chat miss her as well. But she will be back hopefully next season.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope you guys all have a great holiday. What else what did we not
Let's
cover
just touch
tonight?
on a couple things. The
Yes.
fact that for Survivor season 35, the females won 8 of 9.
Oh my God.
Thank you for
Immunity
bringing that up.
challenges.
Yes.
8 of 9 individual immunities. That's insane.
Incredible.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
So
Incredible.
who won the other one?
Cole.
Cole was the only guy. And I just want to point out, Chrissy, when she talks about being tied for only 4 females in the entire seasons of Survivor to win 4 individual immunities, she was with Kelly Wigglesworth for Borneo. She won 4 consecutive.
Wow.
Jenna Moraska from Amazon, who
I didn't see that.
I didn't see Amazon either, but she won 4, but then also gave one of her idols to another player. I watched the clip on it. I didn't watch the entire
Did she
thing, but
get
I watched
out
the clip
because
on
of that?
it. No.
Oh, thank God.
And then Kim Spradlin, who won 4 in One World.
Wow.
So those are the 4 women, and then now
So she
Chrissy,
won 4. Ashley won 3.
Ashley won
I don't know the breakdown. From there. Maybe
2.
the chat can help
Lauren
us.
won 1. Desi won 1.
Oh, Desi won 1. Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Good
It was
for
a
them.
really
Yeah.
strong female cast.
Yes.
Strong females in this season all along. Do you guys think that Chrissy's the best female player you've ever seen on Survivor?
No, I think Sandra still is obviously queen of Survivor, even though the word queen was thrown around
That's true,
describing
actually. She
Chrissy
went
tonight. But Sandra will always and will forever remain queen. But
I think Chrissy's like top 5.
Chrissy definitely
Top 5.
deserves respect.
And I'm happy for her because she was, she mentioned this a few times about how, like, on that first day, she was so nervous. Like, she was like, this was my dream for 16 years, and, I'm finally here. But she was so nervous about competing in the challenges. I think she said this in the reunion. She was like, all my life, I've been told that, like, she's like, I wasn't allowed to play sports when I was younger. Like, I was always told I suck at anything athletic, So coming into this, I knew I could play the social game. I knew I could do so many things, but I was very, truly scared about the physical challenges. And that's why I literally puked the first episode because she was just like, I can't do this, Like, not like I can't do this, but she was so nervous about it that she couldn't hold it together.
Yeah.
And look at how far she's come. She
Yeah.
won 4 individual immunities. Like, this is her dream, and she can look back at this dream knowing that she put everything on the table and she did everything that she possibly could.
I'm very proud of her.
Me too.
Yeah.
And she was never my favorite the whole time, but I really, really respect her.
Yeah. I feel like, and Dominique, we all know, I just have to put in a word for Dominique really quick. We all know that Chrissy got on her nerves pretty much the most out of the entire season. But I feel like after watching this, and she'll probably tweet me or text me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Chrissy would have won over Dominique. Not all the way, but I feel like Dominique would have gained a little bit more respect for Chrissy.
If she would have won?
No, based on her last answers and how she carried herself these last 2 episodes. I just feel like Chrissy just turned it all around. She wasn't as cocky. She wasn't as like,
Yeah. I feel like
arrogant.
if Chrissy would have won, though, like, she would have been so cocky for the rest of her life.
Well, I think we learned some. I thought there was some underlying and subliminal messages we can take away from this season also. And I don't know if you guys want to share your final thoughts, but for this season, I think a couple points of kind of using Ben and Chrissy to tie it all together. I think Ben showed us that coming back, having a disorder, PTSD, struggling with anything, you can overcome that. And I think the same way Chrissy overcame the fact that she wanted to do this show for so long that she applied 16 different times.
And she was willing to lose her job for it.
She never gave up, and she kept trying for something that she desperately wanted. Yeah. And you could tell that she was prepared. And I think you can take the message that, keep preparing, because one day you'll have that opportunity, whatever it is in life.
Yeah,
and
like you never stop.
You never stop. And you could see that she was prepared when she, not just to get to the show, but when she got on the show, she had a plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she followed that through. And
100%.
I think you can take something outside of the show and put it in your own life and really walk away better off because of it.
And going off of that, I want to talk about Ben a little bit at the live reunion, how Jeff was kind of saying, these last two seasons, the last couple seasons, we've had really great messages. The vet situation, also Zeke with the transgender situation. And basically Ben was like, I just want to show vets that coming back, you can have a life, you can follow your dreams. It's not all bad. Like, you can get back out there. And I don't know how many of you guys watched the reunion show, but 4 of his veteran friends came out and surprised him. And they said, you know what? It just takes one person talking about this. And if he can pull one vet out from under the rug, then I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what I mean? Like, if he can pull one person out from, their sorrow and whatever they're going through, then it's so worth it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's such a great message. And I feel like, Survivor's just been giving us such good stuff over the past couple seasons and like really helping a lot of people. Ben said so many people have reached out to him just saying, you really helped me and this has been great. So props to him. Props to everybody this season on Survivor.
I agree with you.
And who's excited for season 36?
Oh my God, Ghost Island!
I'm a little worried, you guys, because we weren't as excited about Healers versus Hustlers, and it turned out to be a really great season. And now I'm really excited about Ghost Island, and I'm worried that it's not going to be as good of a season. I mean, they're going to have to pull out some really crazy stakes in order to make it as good as this.
Oh my gosh!
Jeff already alluded to the fact that the last tribal thing with the secret advantage of somebody picking somebody and then the fire making being the last 2 is going to be a staple. So it's not a staple, but it's going to happen next season as well.
Wait,
you missed that?
I missed that. Wait, he
that's
said
now
that
part of the game, he said.
Getting the advantage, and then that's a
you
thing?
take one and the last 2 fight out, which I think is important. If anybody, this is for you, Paige, and for anybody else, like Dominique, anyone, she won't be on it because it's
oh my God.
whatever. But if you want to be on Survivor, take that. He just gave you a little hint that if you make it towards the end, you have to think about the fact that that's part of the game now.
Making fire?
Not just making fire, but
you have to pick
the last 2 is going to pick
what?
someone.
I didn't even hear that.
Well, now you know in case you get on next season or the season after that. But also the fun part about Ghost Island is how it seems like they're bringing back all the people that have kind of been not the rejects, but the people that have made boneheaded moves.
But they're not bringing them
they're
back.
new players.
New players?
They're new players, but they're being faced with the same
that
mistakes.
That would be freaking great.
No,
I don't know. I like it when
I thought they were bringing all the boneheaded players back.
I don't like it when there's reoccurring people. Clearly, we've established that in this season when there's all new players. Crazy things happen.
Was a really confusing promo because the people that I was sitting next to were like, half of them were like, oh, so there's all new players, and half of them were like, no, it's old players. But I'm pretty positive that it is a brand new group of players. It is new players, but basically they were just showing, oh my gosh, here are all the stupid moves that everybody made. They had freaking all of the unused individual immunity titles and stuff hanging from the ceiling. I was like, oh my God.
That was really cool.
But yeah, it is new players, but basically I don't know how they're going to incorporate the ghosts of Survivor Past, but they are somehow. And basically you need to be knowledgeable about the seasons, I think.
Of course.
I think that's part of it.
Okay. Okay, so all new players. But it will be interesting nonetheless, no matter what. And I'll tell you what, I'm super excited.
What?
I'm super excited after tonight's finale.
You guys,
for next season.
now, Mike, I really want them to next season do one with all the regions.
And one last thing, I went to say this.
That would be cool.
I meant to say this about tonight, and I've said this in past seasons. I haven't brought it up really this season, but in past seasons. I really think tonight they could have used the timer or the clock to show us, because I wanted to know when they were putting the blocks up, how long were they into that? Was it 10 minutes, an hour? So you have a better idea of how exhausted, how much the struggle is. That really, I thought right then would have been a great time to show us the timer. The same thing in the first part of tonight's episode when they were doing the puzzle. Give us an idea where we are as far as they've been there for 5 minutes or they've been there for 25. Because it really helps to give you clarity of what's going on.
We could see how frustrated they were getting, especially maybe it was great editing, but the fact that Ben 10 was so close, and then so many falls were after
Yes.
that. It was just constant
Yes.
falls. Like it was like really this is anybody's game.
And just to piggyback on that, not only did they need to add the timer in that specific challenge, but they also, I think, in future seasons need to add a timer at the tribal, because we have to understand that tribal is not 5 minutes, it's not 2 minutes, it's not 10 minutes. They're usually there for hour and a half, 2 hours, a very long time. So I would like to know, because I feel like that really, sways their decision making or influences their decision making. So I would like to see
Like
how
final
long they are at
tribal.
tribals. Yeah, final tribals.
And it also helps for us, for the viewers, to be like, I have a little bit more understanding of where we're at.
Yes.
And
And
maybe
time concepts,
And
yeah.
maybe we can be like, hey, they're doing this too long. Or
Yeah.
this too short. It adds another layer.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're CBS, you can get an advertisement in and someone to promote the timer. I mean,
You guys, I just have to shout out Brian Carter, because she said they should bring out the Survivor auction, and I forgot to mention it last episode. The Survivor auction, remember they used to do the Survivor auctions when they would give them money and then have to bet on the auctions? Oh, I used to love that challenge. It used to be my favorite challenge. And then they used to
Like the Price is
wait
Right
until the end, of, the last thing that they could
that
auction
would be
off
fun.
would be like a clue to where the immunity idol is and stuff like that. I missed the auction, Brian. I agree with you. I forgot who said it. Oh gosh, Eric Olin said it in the chat. Do you
Shout out
guys
to
think?
Eric.
Shout out to Eric, who's been with us, and Sheena123. Everybody in the chat, we love you guys. Do they think that we should do a celebrity season of Survivor?
No, God, we
I
get too much
disagree.
from freaking celebrities as it is.
I disagree.
We get too much.
You
And
wanna
then
see
No. I disagreed with Eric. I agree with you guys.
It's more fun when you get no names, people you don't know,
Yes.
and you get to watch them, because
they're real
also,
people. They're like us.
And you realize that a lot of people, this really matters.
Yes.
This money is a
They
thing.
need
I mean,
it.
Ben
Yes.
talked about it, how much it was important for his kids, his family, graduations.
When he was like, I lost my
and-
retirement.
And you hear that from so many people.
Yes.
And so that is a huge thing. And it's fun to see some of these people become sort of reality celebrities in the making. When they just, like Cochran.
And like Andrea Belke, who does her own shows.
People come out of nowhere to become celebrities. We can go all the way back to look at I forget her name now. She's a massive celebrity.
Elizabeth
Hasselbeck.
Yes.
She became a huge celebrity because of Survivor. Now it's different now because we're 35 seasons in, but that's more beautiful, I think, than seeing already celebrities getting
And
to
it's
do
just like,
this.
you know what? Oh, these people are just like us. I could go out and play
It
Survivor.
gives you hope.
Yes.
It gives you
Yes.
hope.
It gives you
That's,
hope,
I think,
for
are
sure.
one of the main reasons why Survivor will never do a celebrity season, because they want people, and the messages that come across every season that we have, especially the last couple of seasons, with all these messages coming through with all these regular people, it's like they don't want celebrities to taint that. They want these regular people to come
And most
through.
importantly, they don't need it.
They don't
No,
need it.
no,
Survivor's so
no,
good. It gets like the
don't
highest
need
ratings
it.
on CBS.
Seriously.
I just really hope that Jeff Probst stays with it until the day he freaking dies, because
God.
I need the show to continue on forever, because it is my favorite thing. Nothing makes me happier than Survivor.
We need it to continue on because we need you on Survivor one of these seasons.
I feel like we should all try out.
I'm
Everybody
trying to
in the panel
work on
should
Survivor
try
right now,
out.
but I kind of just want to be on the show
Yes,
now.
I need the
But
hashtag Paige on Survivor.
But the problem,
Let's
you guys,
go.
I honestly don't know how good of a game I would actually play.
But that's
cares?
why we
Who
need you on
cares?
it. We need you on it to see.
I would be terrible on Survivor, but would I try out? Of course.
We'll try out.
I will try out if you try out.
All right.
All right, let's
Wait,
do it.
Pax.
Oh,
It's real.
okay.
It's
Okay.
real.
Look at
Next
that.
season.
Let's
So they're starting to shoot
37.
in. They're shooting.
36
so-
right now?
No, 36 has already been shot. That's Ghost Island. 37
Yes.
and 38 are being taped in March.
Okay.
They start in March and then they go for months. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's like we won't be able to go on until like either 38 or freaking 40.
Listen, you guys keep talking about it. Find out on CBS.com where you can apply
Yeah.
and make your videos and get on the show.
Okay.
Come on.
I
'Cause
just made a
wanna talk
video.
about
I
one
just
of
made
you.
a video to try to be on the Dream Team, which basically they like test out the challenges and stuff.
Oh,
That's
cool.
fun. Yeah, because
That's
we talked
cool.
about that. They should have like
I would
Survivor
do that.
Gym.
Yeah.
Why not?
And it's basically like, I mean, we'll see what happens. I don't know anything yet, but I'll let you guys know.
Also-
but can I be like, hey, actually, I nixed that video. I want to be on the show.
Right.
Or just take me for whatever you
Yes.
will.
Also, we shout out to all the fans and fans out there. Can we get some buffs? Like, we need some buffs.
We need
Wait.
buffs.
We need
Do you have a
buffs.
buff?
So someone, if you have buffs, send us please send us buffs for next season.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric because he was Team Mike from the start, and he's trying to get his Twitter follow up. So get that.
You guys,
And look at this, we got a buff
I have
already.
a buff because I was planning on wearing this today, but then I went to the
finale.
so I couldn't just show up in a little tube top, you know. But look at this is from Survivor Game Changers, Mamanuca Islands.
Look, that's why you need to throw that on in your video when you make your application.
Yes.
So put that on, do your thing, and show some clips, and you're gonna be on Survivor, and
You
then we
guys,
can all root for Paige
it's
and see how
happening.
she can do. Because it's either gonna be really bad or really great, and
You
it'll
guys,
just be fun.
I might be like Chrissy and be applying 16 years down the road and go on it when I'm older.
You might just be a celebrity after it, so let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, we'll see. You guys, thank you so much for joining us all season. You guys have been like the most loyal fans, and we love hearing from you on Twitter, on Instagram, on the live chat and everything. Thank you so much. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, so you can follow along with our videos, especially next season. I'm not sure when exactly we're coming back even, but we will keep you updated. AfterBuzz will send out some stuff. We'll send out some stuff. Thank you guys so much. I mean, I guess this is it for the season. Season 35, great season. As always, I'm your host, Paige Bonanno. You guys can find me all over social media at Paige Bonanno. And thank you guys so much for this wonderful season. I love doing this show with you guys.
It has been a pleasure. I really enjoyed doing this season with you as well. We love the fans, as Paige said. Thank you guys so much for being so loyal to us. And thank you, everybody in the chat tonight. I am Timothy Michael. You can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike. We will keep you updated for the next season.
And I can just tag along with what you guys said. It's a pleasure working with Paige and Timothy and Dominique and all the fans out there. You make this show, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have one. Shout out to our engineer, Steven, everyone at AfterBuzz that helps us out. And we'll see you next season.
We will see you guys next season.
See you next season.
And find me on social media at Mike Rips.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Happy holidays!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.